Hey guys, how's it going? Cress here. Today I wanted to bring you a video about the best gems for Wizard. I do get a lot of questions still, and I see in like comments on Reddit or in-game about people asking what are the best 6 gems to use. Now I will say there's not a absolute best 6 for all content. But I got a couple lists here to show you that should help you out. And I do want to mention that on Saturday we did reach 500 subscribers. So if you have watched any of my previous videos and you're not subscribed, please hit that sub button and let's get right into it. So, my first list here, this is kind of the overall best setup, I would say. And what we're looking to do here is get 5 2-star gems to rank 5, and I'd say these are by far the best 5 you could choose. Volatility Shard can be exchanged, but I'll go more into that later. And Blood-Soaked Jade. This you do want to run, even though as a free-to-play player, we're not ever able to get this up to rank 5, maybe even rank 3 or 4, depending on drops in the market. But even a 2 out of 5 rank 1 Blood-Soaked Jade deserves its place in the build because of the 10% move speed you get. It's very noticeable and makes all content just that much better for you. And then with our 5 2-star gems at rank 2, we will get 150 resonance per gem, which is the same as a rank 10 1-star gem, but at a fraction of the gem power total. And we get 10% magic find as well per gem. And we want to go with Fervant Fang, I'd say first. It will depend on how long it takes you to get duplicates, because you only get 1 per month as a free-to-play player. But if you are someone who buys the Battle Pass, I believe you get 3 per month then. So it's not too difficult, just whenever you get enough duplicates, get that to rank 5 as soon as possible. And then next, you'll want to go with Bloody Reach. With Wizard, especially, even with Fervent Fang, since Wizard has a lot of damage over time and multi-hit spells, that will really rack up the 10 stacks almost immediately, like within the first second or two. So it'll increase your damage by about 13.5% at rank 5, which is really good. And then Bloody Reach. Most Wizard builds you're going to be at near max range without even trying, because you're standing still using a ray, or casting your spells as soon as you're in range. So staying at the max range for Bloody Reach is no problem, and even if you are closer to an enemy, while you don't get the full max damage, you still get some damage increase, which is better than you'll get from other 2-star gems. And this is also about 13.5% damage increase when you're at that 8-yard range. And then for our next gem, I'd say Cutthroats Grin is probably your best bet. It's pretty consistent in that staying behind an enemy in the type of content that matters, so something like a raid boss or a dungeon boss. Usually you'll end up behind the boss by just trying to avoid their AoEs or other damage effects. And then you'll get a nice boost to your critical hit chance. At rank 5, I believe it's 13.5% as well to your crit, which is a huge increase. Think about like your legendary items. If you get one with like 3 or 4% crit chance, you're like, wow, that's a good roll. And this is giving you 3 to 4 times that. So that's just an insane boost. Will help you get those Chest of Glory and raids, even as a low resonance player. Power and Command. This one's good as well. However, the reason why I rank it so low here for Wizard is when it alternates to the primary attack option. Wizard is definitely the class that uses primary attack the least, but then half the time you're still getting a large increase in damage to your skills, which is very good on Wizard. And compared to the other 2-star gems, you're not missing out on much by going for this. And then Volatility Shard. This one, it's not the best gem. It's kind of like a cheap version of a Zwenson's effect, where every 6 seconds when you kill an enemy, they'll do some AoE damage around where the enemy died. So it'll help out in your open world farming a bit, and we don't really have much else that would increase our damage, so we're not losing out on much by slotting this in. I will mention though, if you are a PvP focused player, I would try slotting in either a Kir Sling or the Abiding Curse. Both of those are 2-star gems that, while they don't really do much for you in PvE, in PvP the effects are powerful, and then they're good placeholders until you get better gems for PvP. And I'd even say, if you are a PvP focused player, I'd maybe even take out either Power and Command or Cutthroats Grin, so that you can slot in both Kir Sling and the Abiding Curse. And on to our next gem setup. This would be, I'd say it's for the player who wants the maximum damage that you can get out of your gems for PvE. This will not be the best for PvP, since your gem effects are reduced, so resonance matters a lot more than the effect of your gem. And then in a way this also would be for a player who has, there may be a light spender, so they want to awaken some slots. And I'd say if you are one of those players, try to keep it at just 2 1-star gems to awaken, because if you go any more than that, you're really going to hurt your total overall resonance. And then in the long run, you might end up replacing the gems, and then you'll have wasted money awakening a slot. So I'd say try to keep it to 2 if you are one of those players. And we'd want to slot in Berserker's Eye. This is definitely the best gem if you wanted to awaken something. It can be equal to about, I'd say, 1 to 2,000 resonance based on some data people have. And then Everlasting Torment. I'd say this would be your next best bet, as it's more transferable among all classes, and it adds a nice damage over time. And the damage over time is actually really good in PvP as well on this, so it's a pretty good gem. And both of these will increase your PvE damage a lot more than our previous list here with these gems. You will lose out on a bit of magic find, total of 10% by having 2 1-star gems. And it will cost you more gem power overall to get these up to rank 10. So keep that in mind. Typically, I'd recommend not going this route, unless you're that specific type of player who cares more about your PvE damage, and maybe you are a light spender so you decide to awaken 1 or 2 slots. And then for our next call out here, this is more for a PvP focused player. I'd say if you're someone where you really don't care much about PvP, I would say just go with this first list that I have here. This would be your best bet overall. You can even leave all your 2-star gems at rank 5 or just slowly upgrade them to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 over time. It will take a long time, but there's no real rush. All you get are some minor upgrades to your gems. And if you're a PvP player, what you want to do is try to increase your resonance as much as possible. And it's actually pretty doable as a free-to-play player. You can realistically get most 5-star gems to about rank 4. Rank 5 is very difficult, not that possible. But these are kind of what you want to look for on the market. Because from what I've seen, these are the cheapest gems that also give you the best effects. First is Chip of Stone Flesh. Try to at least get a 3 out of 5. Typically you can find one for about the same price as a 2 out of 5, as long as you're kind of watching the market and not getting impatient. And you can pretty easily get this up to rank 3 or rank 4, because the duplicates are fairly low in cost. From what I've seen, you can get them for less than 50,000 platinum each. And then the gem power you'll just kind of get over time, or by buying other cheap gems on the market. Same with Hellfire Fragment. This is really good on Wizard as well, where Chip of Stone Flesh, you can always activate with one of your CC spells, which you'll always be using in PvP, either a stun or a freeze. And then Hellfire Fragment, all you need to do to activate this gem effect is just cast any of your skills, and it triggers every 20 seconds. These are pretty cheap as well. I've seen 3 stars as low as like 35,000. And I will say, if you are dedicated to PvP, trying to find a 4 out of 5 for less than 100,000 on any of these gems would be worth it as well. Depending on your market, that might be more or less doable though. So I'd say just base it on what you see the gem prices at. If you think you can get out a 4 out of 5, it's worth saving up for. But if not, a 3 out of 5 is no problem. Concentrated Will. This is also really good since Wizard in PvP will always be using Teleport. So triggering this will be very easy. Every 6 seconds you can trigger it. It'll give you some extra damage, some extra move speed, and these I've seen, the 3 out of 5s, kind of like Hellfire Fragment, where they've been as low as like 35,000, just sitting on the market with no one to buy. So these are all really good gems to look out for. Now Echoing Shade, this one is a bit more pricey. If you get lucky, you can probably find a 3 out of 5 for about 55,000. I haven't seen a good price on a 4 out of 5, but the gem effect on this is so good that I wouldn't be mad about using a 3 out of 5 version over a different gem. And then another call out would be Seeping Bile. Of course, anyone who's really into PvP knows that Seeping Bile is by far the best gem for PvP because of that. Poison is really annoying for stopping people from healing, adds some extra damage and a slow, so just all around really great gem. And then like I mentioned earlier for this general build, if you are dedicated to PvP, I would slot out some of these weaker gems for the Abiding Curse and the Kir Sling. And these add some extra like CC effects. Kir Sling works really well with Chip of Stoneflesh, but even then it just works well with Wizard overall in PvP, since all you have to do is hit an enemy with a stun or a freeze and it will trigger. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the way that I had the gems viewed on screen kind of makes it easier to see what you want to be looking for. If you did like the video, make sure to leave a like, comment if you want to see more. I will be doing a video like this for each class, just so everyone knows what to look for your class. My next video will probably either be Necromancer or Demon Hunter gems. So make sure to subscribe if you want to catch more of those, and peace!